Today we're going to talk about my past, present, and future of books, what I finished, what we're in the middle of, and what we're going to get into. First up, I finished recently The Subtle Art of Folding Space by John Chu. Or it could have also been titled, My A-Hole Sister is Trying to Kill Me. Okay, so this book has mouth-watering food descriptions in it. It's sci-fi, it's strange, it's eerie, it's a novella, and it was super captivating. Like, I didn't always understand what they were trying to explain in it because of the weird, like, quantum mechanics and physics. And it's not like you need to totally understand it to enjoy the story. So let me give you the brief synopsis of this because I feel like I'd have a hard time fully explaining what's going on because there's just like the ideas of things that the people who hold the universe together are doing and fixing and building and whatnot. So Ellie is the main character. Ellie's universe and this one is falling apart. Her ailing mother's in a coma, and her sister Chris accuses her of being insufficiently Chinese between assassination attempts. And a shadowy cabal of engineers is trying to hijack the skunk works, which is the machinery is held within that keeps the physics of each universe working the way it's supposed to. And so Daniel, Ellie's cousin, has found an illicit device in the skunk works, one that's keeping Ellie's comatose mother alive while also creating destabilizing bugs in the physics of the universe. And it's not a good day. If she can confront her mother's legacy and overcome her family's generational trauma, she just might find a way to preserve the skunk works and reconcile with her sister. But digging into her family's past is thornier than it seems, and the secrets she uncovers will force Ellie to choose between her family and the universe itself. And her sister's such a selfish, evil a-hole, and it's all effed up because like her mom refused to see it or admit it and was like to Ellie, she's always like, you just need to get along with your sister. Eventually, she'll get better, maybe. Sure. It was like to the point where like the sister would act like she was the good one and like Ellie was the bad one. So to her relatives and stuff, everyone thinks that Ellie's like the horrible black sheep and Ellie's actually the good one and her sister's like this evil, maniacal, horrible POS. So they have to deal with her trying to kill Ellie all the time, which is very frustrating. But Ellie is like annoyingly naive to the point that she really thinks that her sister's redeemable. Is she? That's an excellent question. You'll have to read this book to find out. I thought it was quite a interesting, weird, and somewhat emotional and delectable read. Delectable because of the food descriptions in it. Because for some weird reason, like Daniel, when he works on stuff, delicious food appears when he's like running diagnostics and stuff. Like stuff just doesn't make sense. But it makes sense in the book and it's weird. And I liked it quite a bit. So currently we are in the middle of Chonk McChonksterness. You see this? We are in book 6 of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, The Eye of the Bedlam Bride by Matt Dinneman. I'm about 150 pages in. It's weird and wacky and wild so far. I have a long way to go. This one's going to take me a while. I cannot recommend this series enough if you haven't had a chance to check out the crazy, just zany dungeon antics of Carl and Princess Donut and all the other characters that are in this book series. It is such an addictive series to read. Like all these books have been absolute page turners. And like this one, the premise is like everything in this level of the dungeon is kind of like a card game. So they're collecting cards and then they want to have like specific player cards where you have like the strongest, best like monsters in the game. So they have to like go kill or claim them to have them on their team. And then they're going to have these like arena battles towards the end and whatnot. So it's pretty crazy so far. Okay, so let me tell you what we're going to get into. This book, Molka by Monica Kim. I've seen this on a lot of people's most anticipated reads. They also wrote the book, The Eyes Are the Best Part, but I didn't read that because I don't like eyeball stuff in books, and I had to assume something with the eyeball skewered on the cover called The Eyes Are the Best Part would have gross eyeball stuff, so I never read it. So I was like, okay, well, I would like to check out this author because people seem to like them a lot. And maybe there'll be gross eyeball stuff in this one too. I honestly don't know. But let me tell you about it. This one's like video surveillance horror. In an unassuming workplace, IT technician Jun Young's network reaches throughout the entire building. He sees every entrance, every lobby, every bathroom. Yuck. The women in this building may be cold and dismissive, but he can always pull up his favorite images of them and remember who holds the real power, until one day sets herself apart from the rest. Day, ever the romantic, yearns to be cherished after years of living in the shadow of her perfect older sister, who tragically drowned years ago. Only her boyfriend seems to appreciate Day. He's rich, handsome, and generous, and she'd do anything to hold on to the happiness he brings her. But when a hidden camera scandal rocks the city's elites, Day's dreams of a fairy tale romance twist into a grotesque nightmare. Her boyfriend abandons her, her parents reject her, and her grip on reality begins to shatter as visions of her dead sister suddenly appear. And as Junyoung's interest in Day turns to obsession, and the truths of their troubled lives are revealed, Day must go to extreme lengths to bring the truth to light. This sounds effed up, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so after this, we have an author I've never heard of, but I saw this at the library. I like the cover, The Burial Tide. This is Neil Sharpson. The synopsis sounded pretty awesome, so let me share that with you. A woman who can't remember her death. On an eerily quiet island off the coast of Ireland, a woman with no memory claws her way out of her grave and back to life. But not everyone welcomes the return of Mara Fitch. I mean, she literally just crawled out of a grave. That's pretty effed up. This is an island with a terrible secret. Inish Bannock, where strange, misshapen figures watch from the trees, and the roads are covered in teeth. Where two brothers gamble for nothing, the doctor only treats one patient, and the pub owner speaks in riddles. Where a poet loses and finds his soul, and a man without a heart claims he's the key to unlocking Mara's secrets. So we have a past that refuses to stay buried. And as Mara returns to her life on this upside-down island, her memories begin to leach their way back to the surface. And the more she remembers, the more the village will do anything to stop her. So if that doesn't sound intriguing, I don't know what does. And I think this sounds pretty great. And it's weird that this is the second book I've stumbled upon in recent times about like a weird island off the coast of Ireland. Like I just read the book Grace by A.M. Shine, which was like weird lore and ghosts and just strangeness at this like cursed island. And now we have this one. It sounds awesome. And I really like the other one too. So we will get back to you on how the Burial Tide is in the future. So now we say what I'm most excited to read. And it's always Dungeon Crawler Carl. If I'm talking about a Dungeon Crawler Carl book, it's probably Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I'm most excited to get back into that. Let's be honest. What have you been reading recently? Let me know. Always curious. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.